Hello everyone, welcome to Unacademy. I am Pooja and I am here to take you through the first lesson on how to prepare for the perfect interview. So this lesson particularly focuses on the biggest communication tool whenever any sort of interview is considered. And guess what it is? Yes, your application and resume. First of all, do not pronounce it as resume. Okay, it's not an English word. It is resume. So first of all, very brief points. Resume should be very brief and to the point, not more than 2 pages at any cost, and all of them, both the 2 pages should be grammatically correct. Make sure all your information is accurate and captures what you have done. Always document your qualification and please never assume. Assumptions is the root cause of all the problems here. For example, you might think that if you have done post-graduation, there is no need to mention your graduation statistics, because it's very obvious that if you have done your post-graduation, then graduation is inevitable. But please do not do it. Always document everything very carefully and up to the mark. Okay? And please, a very simple tip given to us by our school times also, always follow the deadlines. So this was about a brief overview. Now we'll go on making 6 tips on how you can make the perfect resume, because you know what, hiring managers and recruiters say that they've seen more poorly written resumes across their desk recently than ever before. So by following these few tips, you can attract more interview offers and ensure that your resume doesn't eliminate you from consideration. Okay, so there are 6 tips and I hope you follow them. So this is the first one. Format your resume wisely. No matter how well written, your resume won't get a thorough reading the first time through. Generally, a resume gets scanned for 25 seconds. Scanning is more difficult if it is hard to read, poorly organized, or exceeds 2 pages. So always use a logical format and wide margins, clean type and clear headings. Do not mess up with the fonts, okay? Don't try to make it look fancy. Keep a standard font. Use something very decent. You can use Century Gothic, Calibri, etc. Selectively apply bold and italic typefaces that help guide the reader's eye. These are some of the very interesting formatting tools that we are privileged with. So please do not overuse or underuse or misuse them. Please use whenever and wherever necessary. Use bullet points to call attention to important points. Okay, a lot of people, what they started doing is that they write their whole resume in bullet forms. It makes it very monotonous and boring. Always write and try to write it in first person. I have done this, and in that mention some bullet points if it's important to highlight your achievements and accomplishments. I hope you are clear on that. The second tip: identify accomplishments and not just job descriptions. Okay, so you know what, hiring managers, especially in technical fields like engineering, etc., seek candidates that can help them solve a problem or satisfy a need within their company. Consequently, you can't be a solution to their problems without stating how you solve similar problems in other companies and situations. So what a lot of people do is they have done a lot of good work and they are so much in love with the positions that they have held that they only want to write about them. But managers, recruiters do not care about what you have done or what positions you have held. They have their problems and they expect you to solve those problems, and they just want to know how can you solve their problems. And the biggest proof you can give them is by writing it in your resume in very proper way. What did you do to solve the problems? Focus on what you did in the job and not what your job was. There's a big difference. Include 1 or 2 top line job description and then just list your accomplishments. For each point, ask yourself, what was the benefit of having done what I did? Okay, and accomplishments should be unique to you, not just a list of what someone else did. Now, if it's a huge project where everyone was doing the same thing, do not list it as your accomplishments, because people are not fools. Avoid using the generic descriptions of the job you originally applied for or held. For example, if you had applied for a role of marketing strategy and content development, so do not write in your accomplishments that I devised marketing strategy for the company or I developed content for the company. That's a job description. Write it in a very clear way. Okay, if you have strategized a particular project and what were the result and how did you do it, write all that. Moving on to the third point, it's quantify your accomplishments. First question, what's the most common resume mistake? Answer to this I'll give as making too many general claims and using too much industry jargon that does not market the candidate. A resume is a marketing document designed to sell your skills and strength rather than just portray a bio of the candidate. Are you getting it? So please do not use those jargons of the what these modern educations have given us, empathy and industrialization, a lot of words, very fancy words we have started using. Don't do that. Nobody is interested to know how many words you know, at least in regards to your resume. Okay, so my professor in grads used to tell me that he used to just, before grading us or before even starting the classes, he used to check our resume, and if he used to say he used to say that I would like to hire someone like you. Reason that he gave was that if you cannot make a resume properly, that is your selling document, how can you sell products in my company? How can you market my company if you cannot market yourself properly? So always remember that your resume is your marketing document, and that's what going to sell you out in the market and the industry. So please make it very crisp, clear, and always quantify your accomplishments. Okay, include and highlight specific achievements that present a comprehensive picture of your marketability. Quantify your achievements to ensure greater confidence in the hiring manager and thereby generate interest percentages, dollars, number of employees, etc. Work backwards to quantify your accomplishments by asking, if I had not done X, what could have happened? Okay. For example, if you are again in the content side and if you have made a film, write about the views, write about the statistics of the social media handle it had before you created that and what was the result after. Okay, so this is the way. For example, if your action created the reach and increased the reach to 2 lakhs, so that's the quantum that you can affect. If in a tenure of 1 year, if you can increase the reach and the company to millions, then they know what they are talking about and on what quantum they can talk about or negotiate. Okay. Fourth is cater your resume for the industry. Now, what does this mean? So unlike advertising and design professionals who have greater creative license in designing their resume for those fields, the mechanical engineering or any technical engineering or technical industry wouldn't be impressed and may be turned off by distinctive resume design. Okay, so you need to understand. So when you'll Google it, a lot of people, what they do is while preparing for the interviews, they'll Google some very fancy ways of creating resume, make it, but they do not know what industry they are going to. Okay, if you're going in media, a lot of people nowadays make video resume, but if you're going for the job of a coder, you don't need to do that. It's just a waste of time and it's just a waste of time and lack of, it's just distraction for the hiring manager and the recruiter, that why would you do that? Why do you need to do that? So please be a bit conservative stylistically when it comes to a resume. Understand what industry you are catering to, where do you belong to, what are the trends, and what do you need to present. Your accomplishments, error-free writing, grammatically correct, clean, crisp type and paper will make the impression for you. Okay, so if you're not into those typically stylish and fancy industries, please keep your resume very simple. Don't put very fancy fonts and designs and don't make it very cluttered. It will not work for you. Instead, try to make it more content rich and more quantifiable. The fifth point, replace your objective with a career summary. A career summary is designed to give a brief overview of who you are and what you do. Most objectives sound similar, and I'll tell you how they sound. Seeking a challenging, interesting position in X where I can use my skills of X, Y, Z to contribute to the bottom line. Blah, 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 blah. Not telling it all. Please, please, please do not do it. Nobody is interested. It's all copy pasted. Nothing matters. Okay, what you can do instead is grab a hiring manager's attention right from the beginning, remembering you, having only 25 seconds to make a good impression. As I said, an average resume gets scanned only for 25 seconds. So please, if you want to stand out, never write an objective in a resume, because everybody knows that if you are coming for this sort of job, what will your objective be? To work in a challenging environment, to use the skills, to do this, to do that. Doesn't matter. Spend time developing a summary that immediately gets their attention and accurately and powerfully describes you as a solution to their problem. Okay, you can just sum up your career up till now of what you have done and how you can be useful for them. They do not want to know what your objectives are, but they want to know how you can solve their problems. So focus more on that. And the last topic for today's session, network, network, network. For unemployed candidates, handing out resumes should be a full-time job. The majority of mid to senior level positions are filled through networking, so contact absolutely everyone you know in addition to recruiters who are in a position to hire you or share insights. Okay, networking can include personal business contacts you have worked for, people have worked with you, sales representative, a lot of good opportunities for people who worked on the client servicing sides, a lot of people on the client side. So please be in very good contact with them. People listed in the alumni directory. Your alumni is your greatest power. They are the flag bearers and the torch bearers of where you come from. So please use it very nicely, okay? You must be having WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups. Use LinkedIn for that matter. It's a great tool to do networking. So they say that you have 5 fingers, okay? Of them, 3 fingers should always be in your professional network and 2 in your personal network. Okay, so please make sure that you make use of your networking really well. And it's not just about unemployed people. If you are employed, don't think that you have won all the battles and you'll never need people again. You're very wrong if you think like that. We all should focus a lot on networking, good healthy networking, okay, instead of spending so many hours on Facebook and WhatsApp. Please, let's invest some energy and time and efforts on some healthy social media networking or real networking. Go to LinkedIn, meet your people, okay, be good to them, help them when you can, and I'm sure they'll help you back, because people, they are ready to help. You just need to knock the right doors at the right time. Having said that, I hope these 6 points help you build a great resume. If you need any other help, assistance in terms of all these matters, please, please, please feel free to write back to me. In case of any suggestions, feedback, I'll be awaiting them as usual. And in the next session, we'll look at some more topics to be covered under the head of the perfect interview. So till then, please take care of yourself, have fun, keep learning, be very successful, and most important, have lots of fun. So take care. Bye-bye.